Hello, welcome back. I'm going to still talk about King Paimon and the book, The Lord of the Abyss, King Paimon, The Void and the Silence. It is a grimoire, a book, approximately 650 pages. It is a larger book. It is written in poem form, and it is about King Paimon, and it's almost like a book written in his honor, and it does represent him very much. It does represent, the elements of King Paimon, who he represents, or the knowledge that he carries, or the stories. There's a lot that takes part into a book. A lot of different elements or characters, or different parts, of history, time. Storytelling works with time. It works with space. How to create feeling, how to create a story, how to create how to create something interesting, something appealing, something that it's a good book, And of course, a lot of things go into that, but the most important part of writing a book is, of course, writing it. And once you have the idea, once you have the idea, or if you have an idea of a book or anything, just almost like a seed that you don't know what to do with it. How should I plant it? How should I, grow something out of this, And, the most important step is, of course, to write the book. So if you take this as to say, well, I think the story is so good, or it passionates me, or I really want to write this book, then, you just have to write it. So there's this aspect of the biggest part is done, once you start to write and work on the book. Once you have the story finished, there is a lot of beautiful part too that comes into editing, in arranging, the text, and going through the story in a deeper way, correcting the text and so on and so forth. And for the writer, a bigger part is, of course, the process of writing, which must be enjoyable, and must be something, that really motivates you, further on. And then of course you go on the styling of the book, the cover, the title of the book. Those things are things which motivate me, for example, to write books. I like to see them finished. I like to see them with their cover. I like the title. I want to see the title on the cover. I want to see my name. I want to have the book written, ready. There's this need to create it. As I've said, each writer has its own way to write or to create a book, and once you find that way, or if you have maybe have written in the past or anything like that, you can put all those things together and create a book. So it is possible for everyone who wants. There is no I don't believe there is any bad story in that way. Things can seem maybe not interesting, or maybe the idea doesn't seem so good, but still can be a great book. So, or sometimes the idea is great and the book could not be good, so it all depends, and to say, well, even if it's an easy idea, it still can be a great book or interesting book. Maybe no one has written a book as this, And I do enjoy the process of writing, of creating the story, the title, to go, through the editing process and to create the cover and so on. I really enjoy the process. It's almost like I cannot escape it. Once you are into it, once you start to do it, it's really hard to stop, because I always get another idea. And then, as I've said, once I know the process, I can go quite fast through it, But it is the process is a little bit, you have to find for yourself how which is the way that I like to write, and how I can put things into together, no? And I like to work very intuitively. I like to read in general and to gather information, and if I find something interesting, I always save it in my notes, or I write text on my phone in notes, and then I bring more and more text together, and then I use information or other ways to bring the text together, and then I put it on Microsoft Word, and then I start on the editing of the text, or I change the story, or I add more text depending, and then I have to go many times through the manuscript and so on, correcting, changing, and so on. And then I arrange the cover, I arrange all the other things. The first page has to be blank. When you have the manuscript, one page is 2 pages, no? The front and the back, and then you start on the third page with your title book, the title of the book, and then the author name. Then you leave one page empty because that's the back of it, and then you start with the first the book itself, the text, on the other page, on the next page, and then you go through the back, and then in the end you write your copyrights, or information about your name, the title, whatever you want to share, and you can save it then in PDF format once you have the manuscript done. So we have quite a lot of tools that one can find easily to write. I write on my phone. I use the text on my phone. I write a lot of books. I write big books, so I need a fast way to deal with information. So, and the ideas, as I've said, can come at a funny time. Sometimes I get ideas when I'm outside waiting for the metro, and I'm like, and then when I get ideas, I have to start to write it on my phone because I don't want to lose it. And then I, give there like I write, and then I get the information, and I have to, bring the text together, and then I can work more relaxed on the editing part once I know I have my story, I have my text, and then I work on the editing. I go through the text. And it's almost like the book is done. I feel it's almost done when I have the text. The other part, even if it takes time, it doesn't bother me. I quite enjoy doing it. And in the end, I do go another times. No, it's always the editing part does take some patience as well, and does take some time, but it's an important aspect of the book, of course. And then you design the cover, and it's done, no? And I like the idea that people write books. I find it fascinating. I think everyone should write books. I think it's really nice to tell a story, or share anything that you want with others. My books are not autobiographical, but I do share in some books of mine personal stories as well as memories from my childhood, and some of my books are really like inspired by different stories I've heard, or dreams, or visions, or discussions, or things I have seen, so the inspiration can come from many different places. And it's almost like you have to open yourself to the channel of imagining yourself as a writer, and then it's almost like information that you gather on a normal. You don't have to change anything in your life, but it's almost like you work, you put more energy into this idea, being a writer, and then you can get an inspiration, you can receive an idea, and then you write it. So the inspiration seeds, they're really there, no? One just has to get them. It's almost like a little magic in the air that one has to know how to say, oh, okay, that's great, and then don't doubt it. Just take the idea and you go for it. So it does need a little push, a little like confidence boost. But even books don't have to be hundreds and hundreds of pages. I have have read a book once. I was in Italy, and it was just a little book. It was almost like blue, didn't have many pages, and it was really, I said, one of the most beautiful books I've read. It was really very touching, and I wish there was more to read, but it was just that. So, you know, books are special, and for those one who have discovered the beauty of books, there's always like a joy, you know, when you discover a beautiful book, or you have a book that you really enjoyed reading. And I like the design of the covers too as well. I really like to create the covers. I find them very beautiful, and I like to have the book in paper. I always, you know, of course, easy to read on telephone, but it's not the way I like to read. Like, if I was to really read a book, I was to have it in my hands. No, that's the truth. That's like the idea of reading. And I love paper books. I love hard cover books. And I really like a good cover, and I love illustrations in books. I love images in books. I love anything that's extra. I do appreciate it. And I like different type of collections of art. I like to look at art books, and there are a lot of great books. I think a lot of great covers, a lot of beautiful creations, and there are some more expensive books, like special editions or like big atlases, which are really, really nice, beautiful made, and definitely deserve their money. And I've said I love drawings. I'm very visual. I love to see things in the book, especially interesting things. Even I love to look at books, even anatomy, atlas, things that you normally look at in school. But I really love those type of books, like knowledge books. I really love history. Anything that can bring me further on my intellectual advancement of my brain, I guess. I really enjoy it, I must say. Sometimes I wish I had more time to do that. It's very artistic for me to read. And I like science stuff too as well. I love computers. I love ancient history. I love ancient languages, or languages in general. I love all cultures. I love the ancient. I love the past. And I love to think about the future, futuristic things as well. I really enjoy that. I love sci-fi movies. I love dark novels or dark Gothic. I love stuff like that. I love rainy or melancholy atmosphere. So it's like there's a lot one that can love, I even like cold environments or snow or rain, I think they all carry a beauty. And I love nature, landscapes. I love animals. I love trees, I love plants, that's why I paint nature. I really love nature. And I had a very close relationship with nature since I'm a baby. And I really have seen nature from the most tiny little bit to, not the biggest. I haven't seen yet the biggest trees in the world yet, only in photos. But, this the feeling of me sleeping in the grass, as a child, and observing every little insect in every little corner of the grass. So, or observing ants, and I could do that from, I have a thing for insects. I love insects, and I will follow them, and I will spend a lot of time as a child with them, by myself. I had as a child a lot of time with me by myself since a very young age, and it's almost like nature was my home. They were like my friends. I was observing and playing with them. I was enjoying to see, and almost like in awe of the way they looked, and thinking how it's there, everything what I was observing, I was really enjoying, and really taking it very seriously. I was very focused on it, no, as a child is. And I think nature is the greatest teacher, and I'm sure a lot of qualities that one can find in my paintings come a lot from that time, no? So as I've said, there's always a preparation for the artist. If the artist is the artist today, he or she can look back in the past and you will see all the elements that made you a painter or an artist. Because there are many, you know. So there's almost like, well, life did prepare me for what I was to become. Almost like life knew before me what is to become of me. It's very strange. And but it's true, because of course those elements, you know, it's like a trajectory, you know. You say like one thing bring to another, no, A, B, no, it goes in one line, and then those things do influence one, no. It does make a difference if a painter and artist comes from the countryside or comes from a big city, or what type of education, what type of culture, or you know, it's almost like you know, there's a trajectory, you know, of the artist, of the painter, of him becoming or her becoming what is or she is today. So there's a input into that, no? And of course the painter can decide to as well, even if, you know, that will be my feeling, but actually I want to experience something totally different, and he or she might start painting very modern things, no? That's possible too. So but it doesn't make it not true what I was saying, no, that there's this connection of the elements of childhood, of the elements of growing up, no, which can be different or many, regarding the way, or you know, or influencing the spirit or the artist way, no, or even the art. So I do think it does. So even the choice of what exactly I choose to paint, you know, there's a source of that. No, it's always like I can go back and trace that back to that moment where I decided, or I felt, or you know, there's a connection between those worlds, those feelings. Because I know we say, well, past doesn't exist anymore, but it still does. You know, past cannot be erased. We are not that powerful. It's quite funny, but past is there, no? Of course, so one can always connect with the past, and the way one does, it of course is another form of exercise. If somebody does that a lot, there's a strong connection with the past. Depends how much love and time you put into that, no? And I like to go into the past, into you know, old knowledge or ancient stuff. I like old writing. I try to go as far as possible, or I'm interested in subjects like that. So yeah. And knowledge has to its shoes. It goes in different places, no? It's almost like key after key. Sometimes I don't understand which key, which door, why is this, but as I've said, if I look back, well, it has to have a meaning, no? Why this now? Why, I know it's almost like a question people like to ask, and the why is never easy to answer, no? Because there is not only one why. There are many reasons why an artist is the artist he or she is. And the way the artist creates his art does influence what the art is, of course, you know. It's like you cannot ask a millionaire child, who has never really experienced necessarily life or something, or carries that essence. I think the artist carries the essence, almost like I believe artists come into this world and especially for these reasons, no? For creating this. So it's their life work, so they have like full respect, no? And one doesn't understand that the life of the artist had to be the life of the artist to be able to create that life, that things are connected. If that artist will not paint in the garage, will not have been the same art, and he will not be who he is, and that's the point. And people exactly they think that's the negative, and that's actually the most amazing thing ever, no? And you cannot ask art like that crazy and amazing if the artist is going to sit with his feet on his feet, like one leg on a leg, and paint with a little brush. It's not going to give that art. So the way the artist is what the art makes, and the way the artist paints is what the art is. No, there's no separation. There's just one continuum. So even for the artist, now it's good to understand why I took this book, why I took this inspiration, why I painted in this way. No, there is always an answer. And the answer is in the artist. The answer is in the work. And art does come. I really believe there is the mastery of art, the seed of the master of the artist. No, and there are some souls who have this. They just have it. This is what they are. That's what they carry. That's what they give. So they are very valuable. And quite rare, no? It is rare. So I think that art needs bravery, Art is something that you have to be different, you have to be courageous enough, and most artists are really geniuses. Intellectually, they escaped even the genius of the intellectual, and they are on the higher level. If you look an interview with really famous artists and see how they really respond to their reality, to the world, you'll see how amazing they are and how wonderful qualities they carry and what amazing humans they are, and how authentic they are to themselves, how careful, how smart, how amazing they are, really, like genius. But like, as I said, above intellectual levels. The artist is the genius of the world. That's the idea, that deals with the world for a certain time, and then he flies away. And he creates his work, and that's the magic of it, no? He leaves, or she leaves a print on the world, no? There's a change. And it's almost like whatever one can say about the artist is still the artist. And why? Because he's the one creating, no? And I have seen Basquiat, is his name, I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm not good with name. Jean Basquiat, and he was working with Andy Warhol, no? And I've seen some interviews where he was Basquiat, and I noticed his genius just from those little interviews that I've seen with him. And of course his work is absolute genius. He was absolute genius, and absolute amazing in what he did, what he represented, so talented. And I was studying his work, and I studied about his life. I was watching some documentaries about him, interviews, and I looked at his art. And I do love to study different artists, read about their biography, look at their work, know about them, I like to do, or different scientists, or different people or even people from the past, ancient times. I like to read about them, So I'm actually very focused or interested on the human soul, about what it means, Being human, it means many, many things. And I think art is like one of the most beautiful things that art, music, all the high arts are something really to be appreciated, and something that I love very much. At the same time, nature is almost like the mother, because no matter what the human can create, intellectual, even above, or nature has all its answers, and what nature has, almost like the tranquility of the nature, and the wise element of the nature, and the beauty and the entire system of the nature, and the quality of the nature, and everything cannot be duplicated in that way. To say what Mother Earth gives us, what the elements that we receive, and the beautiful effect of nature, and the beautiful effect that it has on humans. The even the silence, that the nature carries, it's so precious, it's so beautiful. And I recommend, if you have children, or to let them be as much as possible in nature, and trust that nature is a mother, a very wise mother, and the things that they learn in nature are like one of the most beautiful and precious things that a child can learn. And there's no need to separate a child from nature, because they're really one. So even if a child, say, because there are children who are meant to become writers, or different things, maybe they don't like the outdoors as much, still, the connection with nature should be almost like, in a way, brought to them, or made sure that they carry that connection with them through an animal, or through other ways, that you can connect with them through nature, even in home, or through a garden, or some walks, or some other ways that one can receive that gift that nature has now. And I really love my memories since I was a child in nature. I just don't say just like that. I really love and really adore and care for those beautiful memories that I carry, that Mother Nature has given me, and the beautiful lessons which so gently she has shown me, ways of how things connect with each other, and how many things are to be learned. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to continue the discussion in another recording. All the best to you. Bye.